Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we are going to be discussing a cursed user who has been around for over 1,000 years. Yeah, that's right, we are going to be discussing Uraume, and we are going to be talking about all the crazy things about Uraume. So I'm talking about ice formation, I'm talking about the fact that they've been around for 1,000 years, I'm talking about the fact that they are one of the strongest cursed users we have ever seen in JJK, okay? I'm talking about this person could go up against Yuta and give him a run for his money, alright? And that's rare because I don't know if you guys are tracking, but Yuta is one of the strongest people in JJK. So when I compare somebody to Yuta, yeah, they're worth something, okay? Before we get into talking about Uraume, and you are definitely gonna hear me say they a lot because we have never been told what the gender of Uraume is. So if I'm either referring to Uraume as Uraume or as they, them, then, don't get upset. But do me the favor, like the video, subscribe, my people. I appreciate whenever you guys subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, and then hit the noti bell. Without further ado, people, let's go ahead and discuss Uraume. So Uraume has been around for, yes, over 1,000 years. And no, I don't know how they've been around for over 1,000 years. But it's safe to assume that they have different methods of keeping themselves around. So we definitely know that since in the manga it's stated that they've been around for over 1,000 years, it's not something to do with Kanjaku's ability to bring people back due to the colon games. So we know that they have been around even in season 1. So we know, oh, cool, got it. They probably got some weird technique that they're using to keep them alive. Not exactly an innate technique, but a cursed technique, or a technique that has to do with using cursed spirits or cursed energy, or, well, definitely cursed energy, or, flesh from human bodies, things like that. Something to do with maybe like the bath that Sukuna took in order to stay in the form that he was in and suppress the soul of the person that he was inhabiting. So maybe something along those lines in order to keep them alive for that period of time. Could also be a binding vow that we haven't yet to see, one of the strongest binding vows maybe. And it might have been in the manga and I might have missed it. Honestly, it's been over a year since I read the manga, so there's a lot that I don't remember that I need to reread. But God bless, like, I'm talking about, like, yeah, over a year. But regardless, there's probably something out there that one of the jiu-jitsu scholars in the comments could go ahead and inform me about that I missed. But basically what you want to know is that this person has been around for over 1,000 years, and in that 1,000 years that person has been able to master their curse technique. And of course I'm talking about ice formation, and ice formation is basically the ability to imbue their cursed energy into ice and be able to freeze objects and use ice shards and any form of ice in general. Uraume is able to manipulate. It also helps that Uraume has a massive amount of cursed energy. Of course, after being around for 1,000 years, we know that cursed energy is just negative emotions being imbued into the sorcerer's, pool of cursed energy. So 1,000 years adds for a long period of time in order to gain all negative emotions and negative events in your life. And Sukuna being sealed away, probably added one of the biggest negative emotions Uraume's ever felt, because Uraume is one of Sukuna's servants and probably the only servant, because Uraume is actually a master chef and Sukuna loves eating human flesh. So Uraume learned how to create amazing recipes through human flesh and through cursed spirits. Sukuna loves to eat, and thus their partnership became a thing. But all you need to really know from that is the fact that Uraume, if they weren't a master chef, Sukuna wouldn't hold them in regards so highly. But because they are a master chef, Sukuna loves them, and thus they've been together since the Heian era, where Sukuna was rise to power. But like I stated before, Uraume has a massive amount of cursed energy, which they are able to use to manipulate ice in any way they want. Two of the most common ways that we see Uraume use this ice manipulation in their curse technique, using Frost Calm. And Frost Calm is basically just Uraume imbuing cursed energy into ice into their mouth in order to let loose this mist out of their mouth and into their palm. They blow it out, kind of like you would blow a kiss like to somebody, whereas like if people still do this, they blow kisses like that. Uraume just blows out the frost calm into the air. The frost, freezes the ground and goes towards a target. Once it lands on the target, it freezes that target into solid ice. So it freezes their skin, it freezes their body, creates giant shards of ice coming up from the ground, Yeah, freezes everything basically. So, and it makes it that the person that is frozen in said ice feels like they're gonna shatter their body if they try to move out of the ice, which is really insane. Really, really strong form of ice right there. So it's a very high level of jiu-jitsu. And we expect that because, again, this person's been around for 1,000 years. I don't expect anybody to be around for a long period of time and suck. Truthfully. Like, do you know why vampires in movies are always rich? How would you feel if you've been around for hundreds of years and you're poor? Doesn't that seem like it's just not possible? Doesn't it seem like more time equals more experience equals more power equals more money and then some? Same thing with cursed energy. So I don't expect Uraume to be a bad sorcerer. I don't expect them to be a bad user of cursed energy. I expect them to be a very high leveled one. And currently in the manga, they are fighting Hakari, and they have killed Hakari probably 10 times over. And Hakari, using his domain expansion, is able to survive and regrow every body part that has been shattered 10 times over. So it's just an endless cycle of who's going to run out of cursed energy first. And then that person's going to lose. And truthfully, since we are as far as we are in the manga, somebody has probably lost. Honestly, we haven't seen their fight in a couple chapters, so somebody probably lost already, and we just haven't seen it. But if you haven't read the manga and you don't know who Hakari is, well, let me just tell you that is the third year from Jujutsu High, specifically Tokyo Jujutsu High, and he is able to basically regrow limbs, use reverse curse technique to regrow limbs. He's pretty much unkillable for 4 minutes 11 seconds whenever he uses domain expansion and he hits a jackpot. All that will be explained in a future video. Right now, that's not that video. This is about Uraume. And the second way that we're going to talk about ice formation and the second move that ice formation is able to use is called Ice Fall. So imagine that Uraume touches the ground, freezes you when they touch the ground, and instead of using like frost calm where they spit out towards a large group of people a bunch of frost calm, no, they're just hitting the ground. They're causing a bunch of ice to come from the ground up. They're going to hit you with it, so it's going to shatter up around you, sticking a bunch of shards around you or maybe in you, and then it's going to break those shards, fly up to the sky with telekinesis, all those shards, and then they're going to come crashing down upon you. And this technique is so powerful that Yuji, at the point where he just beat Mahito in the anime, thought they were all going to die. I don't know about you, but Yuji usually doesn't think they're going to die. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that this technique would have probably killed them. That being said, yes, Uraume is one of the stronger curse users, or if not top 10, 100% top 10, what am I talking about? Curse users in JJK. And when I do my top 10 video, I promise you I'm somehow going to put Uraume in there. Yes, I know there's some strong users in JJK, but I feel like I could slide Uraume in there, even though we have yet to see major battle feats other than the fact that Gojo caved their chest in when they try to press Gojo. But, I mean, we haven't seen that in the anime yet. Once you do, you're going to be like, oh, I guess Uraume wasn't all that. No, it's Gojo. Come on now. Who's really going to step to Gojo and, feel okay afterwards? But last thing I'm going to mention is the fact that Uraume is able to use reverse curse technique, and I find it ridiculous if we don't see a domain expansion, because we have yet to see a domain expansion from Uraume. But if you could use reverse curse technique and you've been around for over 1,000 years, I guarantee you that you're going to have a domain expansion. Let's wait and see, and I wouldn't be surprised if Uraume's domain expansion is just an Ice Age. Personally, that's what I think it is. Let me know what you guys think it is in the comments below. But that's everything you need to know about Uraume thus far between present-day anime and present-day manga. Other than that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then hit the noti bell. And I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.